taking place in the ecosystem. Environment is affected by the organisms for their needs. The changes they cause are small and help in keeping the ecosystem stable. Some changes affect the other organisms. As animals eat plants or other animals, they reduce the number of organisms in their habitat. Let us consider a few examples to understand this in a better way. For instance, let us consider that there are many insects in a bird's habitat. The birds feed upon the insects and keep the number of insects from getting too large. This keeps their ecosystem and habitat neutral and balanced. But if the number of birds increases abruptly, they cause the lessening of the insect population. As a result, after a few days, the food for birds will not be enough. Because of this reason, some birds may migrate to other places, or some of them may die, and a few younger birds will be born. This brings about the balance in the ecosystem. Sometimes, due to the human acts, the habitats of various species of animals and plants get devastated. Also due to natural calamities like tsunamis, floods, forest fires, cyclones, etc., the ecosystems of various animals and flora also get affected and become the cause of ecological imbalance. The size of an ecosystem varies from a small plant to a very dense forest. Biosphere is the largest ecosystem on the earth. Studying the entire biosphere is a difficult task. For this purpose, scientists classified it into many subcategories based on various aspects to make it simpler for better conduction of study. Now, let us learn about this classification of ecosystems. Types of ecosystems. Abiotic factors have been playing a significant role in determining the types of ecosystems. The interaction that occurs in between the biotic and abiotic components of the nature causes the formation of various types of ecosystems in the environment. Based on the human interference and its effect, ecosystems are classified into two types. They are natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem is further classified into many types.
Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding.
Now, let us learn about mangrove ecosystem. Coringa. Mangroves are the forests that grow in the backwaters of the areas of seashore with low depth. Mangroves are one of the most important productive ecosystems. These derive nourishment from terrestrial fresh water and tidal salt waters. Mangrove forests are particularly found in tropical and subtropical tidal areas. They serve as important feeding, nursery, and breeding grounds for a variety of commercially important organisms and also serve as protected areas for the endangered species. The mangrove of Coringa is located 150 kilometers from Visakhapatnam. It is situated south of the Kakinada Bay. Coringa is named after the river Korangi. Coringa mangroves receive fresh water from Korangi and Gaderu rivers, tributaries of Gautami-Godavari River. It also receives salt water from the Kakinada Bay. A large number of creeks and canals travel through this ecosystem. Let's now look into the biotic and abiotic aspects of the Coringa ecosystem in detail. The following are the three different biotic components of the Coringa ecosystem: producers, consumers, decomposers. Click each tab to know more. Producers. Examples of producers found in the Coringa mangrove are Spirogyra, Euglena, Oscillatoria, blue-green algae, etc. All of these are the food chain initiators and tend to become the primary base for any continuance and existence of all the food chains in that mangrove. Consumers. The consumers present in Coringa ecosystem include shrimps, crabs, snails, turtles, tube worms, hydra, protozoans, mussels, daphnia, brittlewort, etc. These are the animals that are dependent upon the previously displayed producers for food and other local needs. These consumers are further classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. Decomposers. Decomposers present in the Coringa ecosystem are detritus feeding bacteria, etc. These decomposers are effectively responsible for decaying and decomposing the dead remains of plants and animals.